I'm calling it right now. Dutton Ranch Season 2 could be even more explosive than Season 1. That Season 1 finale didn't just end the story. It completely changed the game. Carter has been kidnapped. Oreana is pregnant and grieving after losing her father, and Rob Will is dead after Joaquin was apparently ordered to kill him. But there's one question that could change everything. Did Joaquin really kill his own brother? And if he did, how far will Beth and Rip go to get Carter back? Before we dive into the biggest Season 2 theories, let's go back to what actually happened in that shocking finale. The biggest twist was obviously Rob Will's death. Mariano had already made his intentions clear. He wanted Joaquin to take control of 10 Petals, but there was one major obstacle standing in his way: Rob Will. So Mariano gave Joaquin an impossible order: kill his own brother. Then we saw Rob Will lying dead with a gunshot wound. A black car drove away, while Joaquin sat inside another vehicle looking completely broken. At first glance, it seems obvious that Joaquin did it, but I'm not convinced. Joaquin may have wanted power, and he has definitely made questionable decisions throughout Season 1, but we also saw a completely different side of him. He cared about Beulah, his relationship with Rob Will was complicated, and despite everything he had done, Joaquin never really seemed like someone who could coldly execute his own brother. So here's my theory. Joaquin didn't kill Rob Will. Maybe Joaquin went to confront him but couldn't pull the trigger. Maybe he arrived after the murder had already happened. Or maybe Mariano sent someone else because he knew Joaquin wouldn't be able to finish the job. That would explain Joaquin's reaction. He wasn't celebrating, and he wasn't acting like someone who had just completed an assignment. He looked devastated. And if Joaquin eventually discovers who actually killed Rob Will, that could completely change his relationship with Mariano. But there's another possibility. Joaquin really did kill him. And if that's the truth, Season 2 could turn Joaquin's guilt into one of the show's biggest storylines, especially when Beulah finds out. Imagine her discovering that Joaquin murdered Rob Will because Mariano ordered him to. Whatever trust exists between them could disappear instantly. She could be forced to choose between the man she loves and the family she has left. And honestly, I think that could push Joaquin toward the most interesting storyline of all, turning against Mariano. Mariano has spent years controlling everyone around him. He may promise Joaquin power, but becoming his successor doesn't necessarily mean becoming free. It could simply mean becoming the next person Mariano controls. That could eventually put Joaquin and Beulah on the same side. But while Rob Will's death could create a war, Carter's kidnapping is what could completely destroy the peace Beth and Rip were trying to build. For the first time, they were starting to create something that actually felt like a family. They were trying to make the ranch a home, and they were trying to give Carter a future. Then Carter was taken from them. I don't think Mariano understands the mistake he just made, because Beth is going to come after him, and she isn't going to stop easily. Rip will obviously do anything to get Carter back, but Beth is the one I'm most concerned about. Carter is one of the few people she genuinely wants to protect, and after everything she has already lost, I can see her deciding that Mariano has crossed a line he can't come back from. This could turn Season 2 into a full-scale revenge story. But what if Beth and Rip realize they can't do it alone? That's where things could get really interesting. Could other parts of the Yellowstone universe become involved? What if Kayce gets pulled into the situation through the legal side of the investigation? Beth and Rip could be tracking Carter through their own methods, while Kayce and law enforcement follow a completely different trail. 2 investigations, 2 rescue missions, and eventually they could collide. Then there's the 4-6's ranch. If the situation becomes big enough, I wouldn't be surprised if help comes from another corner of the Dutton universe. Imagine Beth and Rip realizing they need more people to take down Mariano's operation. That could bring together characters we never expected to see in the same storyline. And if that happens, Season 2 could become much bigger than the first season. But even if Carter is rescued, I don't think everything suddenly goes back to normal. His kidnapping could completely change him. Throughout Season 1, Carter struggled to understand Beth and Rip, but after experiencing something this terrifying, he may finally realize just how much they actually care about him. He could return to the ranch with a completely different perspective, and that could finally allow him to accept Beth and Rip as his real family. But there's another problem: Oreana. She is pregnant with Carter's baby, while everything around her is falling apart. Her father is gone. Carter has been kidnapped, and the future she imagined with him has disappeared overnight. She wanted to leave and start a new life with Carter. Now she's alone, grieving, and carrying his child. That's why I think Oreana could become one of the most emotional characters in Season 2. There's a huge amount of pressure surrounding her, and the show has already proven that it isn't afraid to put its characters through devastating situations. So I have to ask, will Oreana actually give birth to Carter's baby, or could Season 2 deliver another heartbreaking tragedy? If something happens to the baby while Carter is still missing, it could completely destroy Oreana and give Carter another reason to go to war once he finally returns. And that brings us to the question everyone is asking. When will Season 2 actually arrive? There is still no official release date, but reports surrounding production have pointed toward filming beginning in 2027. If production starts as expected and everything moves smoothly, there is at least a possibility that the new season could arrive later in 2027. But until an official announcement comes, we should treat that timeline as speculation. Either way, Season 2 has a lot to answer. Did Joaquin really kill Rob Will? Who actually pulled the trigger? Will Joaquin finally turn against Mariano? Can Beth and Rip rescue Carter? Will Carter come back as the same person? And most importantly, will Oreana give birth to Carter's child? Because if Season 1 was